Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review for January 24th, 2023. Alright, for all those that are new to the channel, if you're not familiar with what I do here, I give you all the comics that I've read, which isn't every one of them. I only have time for so many. Matter of fact, this week, it's a very small group. It was only 6. My pull list was pretty small this week. So with just 6, there's going to be a top 3 and a bottom 3. And I scaled them. I gave them a rating of 0 through 10. 10 being amazing, absolutely buy multiple copies. 9 being phenomenal, you should run out in the store to get. 8 being really good, you probably should get. And then 7 is average. And then below average, well, I think you can figure out what that means. You hear any noises? That's my notes. You hear my papers there, or you might hear a click from me moving the screen there for more of my notes. So let's get started right away. We're going to start with my top 3 this week. And here we go. Remember, small batch. My number 3 was All Out Avengers issue number 5, the 7.01. Here at last, because you demanded it, the ultimate battle begins. Spider-Man versus the Avengers. Did anybody demand that? I don't think I did. It says thrill to the action. Marvel at the wit. Ponder the possibilities in a frantic race across Manhattan. Somebody's mind is being controlled, someone's decisions are being directed, and someone's reality is being altered. But whose? And the writer is Derek Landy, and the artist is, well, it's Greg Land. So you know what to expect with art. It's going to be a lot of weird faces, a lot of tracing done, and you get that in this issue too, most definitely. And the thing is the Avengers are going to these missions and they can't remember them. Much like you're going to be with this series in a year from now. You're probably not going to remember it. It's nothing really special. That's the thing. There's no spectacular art. There's no spectacular story. So when this is, I will give some credit there to Captain America's picturing something was going wrong at the very end. And they've been leading up to it with other issues and other series too. The Beyonder is back again. Yes, Marvel is completely out of ideas and has to hit the well of Beyonder once again. But that's where we're getting here. As I said, this is not going to be a real memorable issue, much like the story itself is probably going to be forgotten. But it was a 7.01. Alright, with that said, at least my I won't say there's a huge range this time, actually, which is sort of sad because I was hoping for better. I really was this week. And we got some okay, and I will say we got some really bad too. But my number 2 is Justice Society of America issue number 2 with a 7.02. The New Golden Age, Chapter 2, New Friends, Old Enemies. The new Golden Age continues. Huntress has arrived in the present day, but the Justice Society of America are not what she remembers. Can she get to the bottom of what's happened to the world's first superhero team? Will the Helmet of Fate hold the answers that Huntress seeks? Well, you're going to have to read to see. With that said, it was an okay issue. It was just not quite as good as I was hoping for. It's an interesting story. The art has been decent, and I am looking forward to the next issue. Jeff Johns is doing a good enough job keeping me there, but I'm not going to say it's the best thing ever, and it's just really hooping me in. And Scott Collins' artwork is okay. Jerry Ordway's artwork is okay. And that's the whole thing. That's why it's got a 7.02. It's okay, but nothing, once again, spectacular. And now my number 1. And I'm going to say, the number 1, in my opinion, limped its way into number 1. Because if you notice, my number 3 and number 2 are barely over a 7. And we have number 1 is Action Comics issue 1051 with a 7.03. Barely ahead of the other ones. Once again, nothing super spectacular. Speeding Bullets Part 1, Home Again Part 1, and Head Like a Wolf Part 1. We have 3 beginning series stories here in this issue. And the thing is, Each one is okay, but nothing super spectacular. Now they got all new outfits, new suits and things, which okay. I like the classic Supergirl suit better than this one, but it's nice to see the classic Superman suit. And we're going to get to see some characters maybe spotlighted that you've been missing for a while, like Connor. So if you are into wanting to read more about Steel, Connor, and some of the other characters in the Superman universe, yeah, this could be a good starting point for you. It's really not a bad issue, but there lies the problem. It was not a great issue. The starters were all, in my opinion, a little soft. They were okay, nothing too spectacular once again. A common problem here. And the story for the second story was okay, maybe even the better one, actually. Made a little more insightful there. And the third story I thought was a bit slow, where we're getting a how do I put this? Where Beast Boy is getting mental help, we'll put it that way. It's just a little bit slow. I don't know, that's my thoughts on those. I'd love to hear your take on those top three. What was the best one, or is there another issue that should be in my best? But before we get and move on, I want to say thank you to these people here. Without them, this channel wouldn't be possible. They help by supporting this channel through Subscribestar and Patreon. If you want to help out the channel too, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really helps. Or even more so, you can check out those Subscribestar and Patreon as well for special kinds of deals that you can get to help out the channel. All right, let's hit my bottom three because that's all I got. I have no middle because I only read 6. And this one's a shame to me that it's the bottom, and it's... Are you ready for this one? I'm a big fanboy of the writer here, okay? Huge fanboy. Love the movies he's in. I put my words all together. And I think the cover of this issue is particularly an interesting cover. I like it. It's Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. Now, even though this is on my bottom 3, it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. I gave this book a 7, so there we have it. It's dead average. Wanted Hitler, dead or alive. They blasted their way through the impossible scenarios and burned their way through the thongs of the undead soldiers. But now, Sergeant Rock and Easy Company find themselves hot on the trail of an enemy even they may not be able to handle. An uber, upgraded, rejuvenated, serum-addicted Adolf Hitler. And that's pretty cool. And the writer that I was bragging about earlier is none other than Bruce Campbell. The art is where this really lags, in my opinion here. Eduardo Risso, sorry if I butchered your name. I think it could be a little bit better with a little bit better art. It's a fun story, and I will say it's a nice change from all the superhero stuff we got, though. But people might go, well, it's zombie stuff. Yeah, I love zombie stuff too. But just the art holds it back a little bit for me. That's the one thing that's keeping it down, in my opinion. And I think, though, that this series, because it's issue 5 out of a 6-part series, would make a good trade. So hopefully they put this out in the trade, and so we can all enjoy it that way. So if you don't want to put the hard-earned dollars on it now like this, you can put it out in trade and support Bruce Campbell's comic book writing a little bit. All right, my number 2 for the bottom. Oh boy. This is a series that's continued to disappoint me for a little while now. And I really don't like this whole big webbing arc that we have here with the Dark Web. And it's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 18, where I gave it a 6.5. Yeah, it just, I tell you, as the issue says, as in the normal run-of-the-mill demons of Limbo weren't enough, Spider-Man finds himself facing a small army of demonized versions of his rogues gallery. Can he make it home to stop Chasm and then the Goblin Queen, not Green Goblin, I almost said Green Goblin, it was Goblin Queen. And Zeb Wells is writing this, and I am not into it at all. And Ed McGuinness's art, I don't mind his art, but I don't like it for Spider-Man. I just don't think he's a good artistic fit for Spider-Man. And I think this book is just miss after miss. It's a silly issue. I don't like the Dark Web's storyline. There is a lot of action, but it's cheesy action, which sometimes can work for Spider-Man, but was overdone here, and there's absolutely no substance. It's just, this is the Dark Web is a story that's too long. It's ruining a character in the process for the story. I just don't like this whole Chasm thing at all with Ben Reilly. And this, in my opinion, is a story that should have never been started in the first place. Once again, a 6.5. Very disappointing, in my opinion. Amazing Spider-Man number 18. Well, I'd like to know your thoughts on that issue. Are you liking this story arc, or are you like me and it's like, ooh, it just doesn't do it for you? All right. I think everybody knows the bottom of the bin for this one. This one, oh, I can't believe this issue's gotten to this far. I almost think that after this story arc, I'll be surprised if this story continues, if this series continues. It's Tim Drake Robin number 5. I gave it, are you ready? A 4. Yeah, Tim Drake Robin number 5 gets a 4. Ooh. I really want to like this series. I don't like the writing of it. I don't like the characterization. I don't like the art. The cover actually this time was not bad. I sort of dug the cover, but afterwards, ugh, the art still sucks harder than a Dyson vacuum cleaner for the rest of the pages inside. Tim Drake is written completely out of character in this issue. You know, he is the one that always knows and thinks ahead, and for example knew that Batman wasn't gone, had hope, and didn't go nuts. But when his boyfriend is captured, he goes brain dead. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just not well written at all. And on top of that, he complains about maybe he should have never went out on his own. He's went out on his own many times, and he's been his own hero by himself many times and very successful at it. So why all of a sudden he's doubting himself now that he can't do it? It's just a bad story. And it just, right from issue 1, crap story, bad art, and then the villain's revealed, and it's a pretty lame villain too. This book is trash. It's garbage. Don't waste your money on it. Even if there is a trade, skip it. I can't believe this has made it to issue 5. What are your thoughts on Tim Drake Robin? And once again, I like this character. I wanted to see this book do good, but it's just failing in all regards. Just not good at all. What are your feelings? Do you like Tim Drake Robin? Am I missing something? Is this I just don't get it? Is Megan Fitzmartin a greater writer than I think and giving her credit for? Is Riley Rossmo a better artist? And I just don't get it. Though the cover art was done by somebody else, Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, and I thought that was the best probably art in the whole book was on the cover, which is not unusual necessarily, but boy, even the best art was okay at best. So, oof. I was looking at the reading here, 26 out of 31, and the reviews liked it when I did some research here, and they gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I find it hard to believe that it even should get that. I think it should be under. But then again, that's like a 50%, 3.5. Well, actually, it's a little over 50%. That's a pretty decent score, so I think they're giving it way too high from what I'm seeing. But once again, maybe I'm the outlier here. All right, everybody, as I said, it's going to be a short group this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you care to, help out, join our team on Patreon, Subscribestar, and get special videos and content just for you. All right, everybody, take care. And until next time, keep it frugal.